Hello, everybody. I just doing a text because someone's like texting me, and I'm like, I'm on live right now. I can't talk. What's up, everybody? Cullen on Film. We got the intro in the live version now. That's something new. And guess what? It is the 50th show of Cullen on Film. 50! Now, we did that a long time ago with Hang On to Your Shorts, and then that kind of dissipated because of COVID. And I was talking to Ming. I'm like, I still want a podcast. Let's podcast. And then he put StreamYard on, and we went online. And 50 shows later, Ryan O'Regan, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Nice. And did I have you on my show? Or did we have you
On
on Hang
this?
On to the Shorts? Hang On to Your Shorts. Not this one yet.
Yeah, no, no, actually, I don't even think you've had me on Hang On to Your Shorts. You've had JT on.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
My former podcast co-partner. But you've never had me, particularly.
I was thinking about that, and I was like, if I podcasted with you, it was with a different show or something. It was never that.
Possibly.
We might have joined a podcast or talked. I don't know.
When it comes to a shared universe, we've done a podcast here, me and JT. We had JT Bigo back at the old Asbury Park location.
I was listening that day.
Yeah,
yes.
That is a day that will live in infamy. not because of the podcast, but because of everything that happened after. And now the next time I've done anything in shared universe, it's today, almost like 10 months later. Hopefully nothing happens tonight.
I was not talking about what happened, but would you write a script about this?
Oh, I've been working on one. Don't think I haven't. It's just direction.
Thinking about you, and I was thinking about your story, and I'm like, you can mix that into this feature I was thinking of this podcasting movie I want to write. And I'm like, that could be a whole another story going on, and all these podcasters, and you podcast, and then all that stuff happens, and chaos, and what a movie that would be.
Yeah,
I wouldn't believe it.
I've had a lot of ideas going about how I'd want to approach telling something like that, considering my own personal involvement.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is it past you now where you can write it?
Yeah, no, I've worked on it here and there. Obviously, it's not complete. Otherwise, I'd be shipping it around at this point. But it's one of those things where I just wanted to make sure that the way I wanted to tell the story was going to be, palatable. I didn't want to necessarily go ahead and just write down everything that happened verbatim and me end up getting shell-shocked if I read it or I watch it or anything like that. So I've tried to think of different ways where it's going to be yeah, I get everything across, but I can enjoy it.
Power of based on a true story.
Yes. How far down the rabbit hole do I want to go with this before I completely lose track of what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And there's a couple of different ideas I have going around, but I won't say much more of that until something that actually cement. But needless to say, yes, it's nice to be back in the studio and hopefully nothing bad happens. But I'm looking at everything and I'm just like, oh, such good memories.
Right? You missed it. Well, we got the curtains. We got the curtains up and now and all this. These went up. Christian was here with us when they went up for the film festival. We had the film festival online, and these curtains went up, and they haven't been down. Right?
Yeah, Ming was just like, "Yo, this looks great. This is gonna stay this way.
This is gonna stay."
It does. It feels like we're inside the velvet rope that lets people in and out of places.
Yeah, we actually, when we were walking through that day, we had 5 filmmakers in the other room, because we had everyone online, but some people can we come? And we're like, I guess we have room. So there was 5 filmmakers in there, and if they won an award, we're just come in, and they'd walk in. But it was delayed, the TV they were watching on it was delayed for 3 minutes.
So that was all off.
And I would walk out there and be like, get out of here!
It's guys, hurry up. It's oh, wait. Oh, they didn't want us to come now. I can understand that, but
it was fun for what it was.
Yeah, it's fancy enough looking. That's the important thing, There's a certain prestige that comes with that color and that fabric.
You walk in like Johnny Carson,
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Just do the whole, do a little Bob Hope right there.
Oh, I really miss those.
Provided anybody that's watching knows who Bob Hope remembers who he is. I don't know what the age demographic is. I know the Cullen on Film has the what is it? The one girl that's hosts of it sometimes. That does stuff for
students?
Your students.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
One of them graduated, so now I have another one that does it.
Right. So I don't know if you're trying to gear this towards a younger audience.
No.
It's are they showing this on TikTok? That's the important question. I don't know.
Their episodes might be, but they take their episodes and they put them on their channel, and they're clean and they're all good. But But I even tell them, like, just go with it. And, you know, if we put it on our YouTube channel for school, and edit. You know how to edit.
Yes. you know how to like take audio out of something if necessary, you know, put a sound effect in, use a record scratch, whatever.
Yeah, even kids for school, they're like, if we podcast, can we do our own and the school one? I'm like, yeah, just do it and then edit the school version and edit yours and take yours home. I don't even need to hear it. And I'll have your school one.
Right. And the important thing is that they have the outlet, they have the equipment, they have the sources. There are people that try to do this professionally and they don't even have the equipment for it.
No.
And, you know, you've got people filming on their cell phones and such, and I am guilty of that, no doubt. But it's nice to see that they're being given all the tools to play with.
Yeah, absolutely. So is it fun to be talking into a mic again and being podcasting? It's been a while.
Well, I mean, I have a mic at home, but it's not like this freestanding kind of like, you know, Michael Buffer sort of like coming down from the ceiling sort of mic.
Yeah.
But
have you podcasted by yourself?
I mean, not on my own. Yeah, no, nothing since JT and Big O when that had to get.
Be like Bill Burr. Bill Burr does his own. He just rants.
Yeah, but he's Bill Burr. He could rant for 5 hours and not take a drink of water. Yeah. You know, the man's just eclectic like that.
Not many people could do a podcast by themselves.
Yes, very, very true. I mean, the most you can get is maybe like 15 minutes for most people, and that's more vlogging and everything. Yeah. You get the YouTube minimum recommended time length on that sort of thing. But as for myself, it's just again, JT McGuire, who's just like one of my best people. So, I mean, without him, I'm kind of like, you know, a babe in the woods. You know, I'll eventually walk out myself, but right now I'm still walking to the center. And who knows? It's a brand new year. You know, things are a little bit more mulled over. I have ideas, I have plans, but the important thing is being able to actually just make the first step out of the woods and go towards that.
Yeah.
And that's easier said than done nowadays, unfortunately.
Now, why don't we go way, way back to the first year of our festival? And you had a film. Was it your first film trip?
Yes. It was originally made for the Central Jersey indie film group that was like...
yeah, I was part of that.
Yeah,
Came in at the tail end, and then it kind of
that's the thing.
Dissipated again.
Well, it's not that it dissipated. It's like, I guess everyone started doing their own projects, and then there was no necessary...
That is true.
No reason to have everyone meet up.
But I came in there just in time to meet a few people and work with some people.
Yeah, and JT was running CJI... I can never say that properly the first time. Right? CJIF. CJF.
That's not how it was.
It's CJF. That's what it is. It's
I liked
CJF.
It, but I guess
of course, because it's got your initials.
No, yeah.
But narcissist.
Yeah,
but yeah, so CJF.
I worked with a lot of those people, though.
Yes, without them, I probably wouldn't have started.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was running the thing, and we decided, okay, let's go ahead and have like a film competition. Never been done before. No. At least not with that group. We would always get together and we would have like little meetings about, hey, I have a project. Can I get someone to help? Or I'm looking for this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But then it was a matter of like, okay, let's split up into groups and do, I'm sure something like what you've probably done with your students, where you tell them get together, put something together, let's see 5 minutes worth of material, that sort of thing.
This year, it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, exactly. But so they would decide to do that. And, you know, I had been in like a couple of shorts that the people had done, so it wasn't like my first rodeo, but.
Acting-wise?
Yeah, acting-wise.
Did you work behind the scenes?
No. This was the first time I had actually ever gone ahead and been like, okay, let me think about making something myself. Because I had done like vlogging and stuff like that, Rhino Show all the way back then. Yeah. But I had never actually taken on the, telling a narrative. So I was like, you know what, let me just throw it out there. And I'm like, okay, so what's something that would make sense that I could work with? And the timing of everything worked out perfectly because at that time we were doing this September to November. That was the stretch of time, really. It was like, so October and all that. At that time, we still had the zombie walk going on in Asbury.
Oh, boy, do I miss that. Yeah.
And at that time, Exotica was being shown in October, not so much November like they have been doing. And for those of you who don't know what Exotica is, porn stars, enough said. And it just so happened.
Very interesting. It is fun.
Yeah, it just so happened that they had to be happening on the same weekend.
That was the same weekend?
That was all the same weekend.
my
I did that
gosh.
all in one hit because I had to
No,
make sure
wow,
I had to make sure whoever I wanted was going to be available.
Was
for
it
the
a
whole thing.
Saturday, Sunday thing?
Basically, yeah. And I was just like, okay, so I could work with something like that, but what would incorporate those two very random locations?
Yeah.
Drugs. Yes, we'll go with drugs. We'll use something with drug-wise. Throw in
That's
a
the
little...
name of the movie Trip.
It works on many layers, you know, but yeah, so that was available. I figured let me throw in a love story, let me utilize what I actually have to work with. I got to meet one of my long-standing helpers, Bill Drummer.
Yeah.
He was actually brought in by one of the other guys who was supposed to be in the cast, and unfortunately I had to bow out, but he's the one that introduced me to Bill, and Bill took care of the video, the audio, he was the entire background.
He did everything when he had audio on him and camera at
Oh
the same
yeah,
time?
I mean we had the cast help
like a
out with like
Ghostbuster.
holding stuff and everything, you know. But that's the thing, like half the people that actually work behind the scenes, they are help. They are not the people that know how to necessarily set up the equipment, but they are there to at least put it up there in the screen.
Oh yeah, many times I've held
Yes.
I've held booms.
I have had to do that too. So thankfully they were all ready and willing to go ahead and help. And then I had called in my friends Marielli and my boy Rocky to just like fill out the cast because, again, it was going to be more so just. I say I was going to go ahead and make the film, but honestly I did want to act in it too because you know narcissism. But I wanted to be something where the environments really spoke more than I did. So I mean, I had the apartment, as messy as it was, there was a reason for that. It spoke its own characteristic about what was going on at the time. Obviously, Exotica speaks on it for itself. The zombie walk speaks for itself. It's one of those things where it was more about the set pieces more so than really the story. But it was a fun way of going ahead and trying to combine them all together into like one narrative tale. Because otherwise, how the hell would you put all that into one thing without it being like an hour and a half sort of thing where eventually you would get to these things? You got to fill it up
How
in
long
like
was it? 15?
15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Depending on which edited version you see.
Yeah.
And yeah, how
Well,
am
I
I
like the
gonna put
version
in?
that we showed at the fest, whatever
Yes.
version that was. It came out pretty good.
But yeah, that was my first time, and of course for that film festival that we did it back in November of what was that? That was 2013. It did win Best in Show and Audience Favorite, so that's when I was like, okay, well let me go ahead shop it out to some others, and that's how it got to you. So I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, obviously it worked.
We had
to some
the
degree.
we had the showroom at that time, I believe, that year.
Yes. Different
Small theater, but it's a theater.
Yes, it was in a theater. I can honestly say that my thing was in a theater.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and you know, yes, fine, I didn't win nothing, but you know, it was still the
Did you
idea
get
of
a
like
nom?
going
I
to
believe
extend.
you got a nom.
I think there was a nom. I think what was it? Best New Jersey short. I
Or
think
comedy or something.
No, Best New Jersey comedy. Yes.
There you go.
And again, considering the locations I had, whether it be the home in Elizabeth, whether it be Asbury with the zombie walk, whether it be Edison with the porn convention, I mean, it was a very Jersey-esque sort of movie.
I forget what the title was of the movie that won that year, but it was a guy that put foil around his body to protect himself from sex.
Not foil, plastic wrap. I remember what one you're talking
Plastic
about.
wrap.
Yeah, it was plastic wrap.
Cellophane. It was cellophane. That was
Cellophane,
the name of the
there you
movie.
go,
That was it. His whole entire body. So that was different.
And now look at us, you know, 2021, and I'm sure there are plenty of people that have done that just for
yeah,
sex,
yeah,
just because
right.
of what's going on. It was ahead of its time, cellophane. I will give it that.
But it's funny if I go back and I try to find some of those movies we saw so long ago and like watch them again. It's like, oh, I remember this. That was funny. That was good.
Oh yeah, no, there was definitely some memorable films I remember. From, I forget, I forget the name of the film, but I remember the guy. It was like a Western. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I think it was either Ari or Ali or yeah, and the one he
I
did.
haven't talked to him in a long time.
No, I haven't. I mean, he's been busy. I've seen him. He went over West Coast and he's been working on things. But
some of the actors from that
yeah,
have been around our little.
oh yeah.
Jersey.
Like the one shorter dude with the beard. I forget. Oh,
Looks like
it's
Jesus.
Yes. We know these people. Don't think that we don't know these people. We're not just like, you know, saying, oh yeah, I know that guy. And we have talked. It's just we don't talk enough for the names to stick.
Yeah. Well, I've worked with him quite a bit. So.
Okay, so fine.
Well, that was a long
Make me
time
look
ago,
like a
too,
jackass.
but that was
That's
like,
fine.
we worked on this and this years ago, and then just cross paths. I love crossing paths with someone on a film. Like I haven't done a film in a while, but when I do, and then I'm like, wait a minute. I worked with you like 5 years ago. Yeah, hey, that's cool. That's like my favorite part.
See, you working with people is like how some people are with like dating. It's like you'll just across hey, yeah, they were that girl I went to the pizzeria with. Like, what was 97, 98? And
I've done that too.
yeah. Cheers to that.
Yeah. So I remember, oh my God, in 1998, I came back to Kevin Smith's office and I graduated college and I had interned there the year before. So I come back, I'm like, I need work. Anybody got work? Can I work? Can you find work? And Scott Moser's like, well, we're not doing anything right now. But, remember so-and-so, she's in the city and she's production coordinator of this film. I could get you on that. So I went in and I was just the assistant to the director. Not assistant director, assistant
to the
director.
Yes.
I'm low man on the totem pole.
You were the gopher.
But I'm working on a movie in Manhattan.
Nice.
I just graduated. And I'm like, this is cool. And so I was working with this one AD and she was mean and horrible and everyone couldn't stand her. So one day and I had to work under her. And then they just fired her one day and brought in this guy who was amazing. He was great. The rest of the shoot was amazing. We're like, this guy's a god. That was in 98. And then in 2012 or so, I was acting now.
Right.
On Pan Am.
Okay.
So I'm doing a regular Pan Am, and I'm sitting there, and I go, holy crap, you're the first AD from 1998 that I worked with.
Oh my God.
And he's like, hey, what the hell are you doing? He's like, you were a kid, now you're growing up. I'm like, yeah, now I'm a fat bastard playing a Russian spy in Pan Am.
I'm sorry, wait. A Russian spy?
Yeah, I was a Russian spy. I had this little hat on. I was like, I was heavier than I was now. I was heavier at the time. I was just like, yes, a Russian spy, like whatever. So,
I'm sorry.
So I'm walking.
This is why the show only had one season.
I'm a Russian spy. And I had a suitcase that possibly had a bomb in it. So I'm walking to the set and I'm walking up the hill and I was talking to these extras and stuff and we're walking up and they're all dressed up and I was talking to this woman as we're walking up, I'm talking. And then we get up to the top of the hill and we're getting ready. I go, I'm like, I haven't seen Christina Ricci. I want to see her because she's on the set. They're like, dude, you just walked with her and talked to her for like a mile up the road. That was Christina Ricci. And I go, no shit.
How do you not recognize probably the most recognizable person of the show?
She did different hair and we're walking like on the side and I thought she was an extra. She was all dressed up with the extras, like extra featured extras and stuff.
Now, was this like right after she had that dramatic weight loss?
Yes.
Okay, so that might have something to do with it.
That too, but
I would give it that.
I wasn't thinking I'm walking and talking to Christina Ricci.
Right. You just thought you were talking to some cute girl with big eyes.
Pretty much. And I wasn't really paying attention because I'm walking forward and just talking, thinking, what if I said, man, I can't wait to meet Christina Ricci, as her walking with me.
Yeah, no, I'd love to her to like just like turn her head and like do like a people's eyebrow at you. It's like, what the hell did you just say?
Well, since I knew the first AD, he's like, I know you come here, you do this. So I worked all day in front of the camera. And then, of course, I'm watching it. And I'm like, there I am. Nope, there I am. There's my head. But I was in front of the camera all day and I'm in with everyone. And then I turn around and I'm working with, I am getting old. I'm forgetting names all of a sudden. Wolf of Wall Street woman.
Oh, Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie was on that?
Yes.
It was
wow.
Wall
Yes.
Street?
Not from Margot Robbie from Wolf of Wall Street.
But she was on Pan Am.
Pan Am.
Wow.
Really?
And I did scenes with her. But nobody knew who the heck she was. She was an Australian girl, the blonde. She was the blonde Australian girl. And I'm doing scenes with her. And her sister, the redhead, because I worked on it for about like three episodes or something like that. So I'm with them and talking to them, hanging out with them. And, none of them are big or anything. And then they're like, oh, there's Christina Ricci over there. And then I was like, I can't believe I talked to you. And now I'll never see you again. So then I'm up at Rhode Island Comic-Con with this guy, Mike Vezza. Mm-hmm. And O'Halloran's there and we're hanging out with him and we're meeting all these people, right? So the next morning we get up and we're like, yeah, that would be cool. Like, if we were going to leave. It's Sunday. We're in the hotel lobby. And I'm like, yeah, I saw Christina Ricci in the distance. She was signing autograph. I wanted to see her or meet her. Like, there was a party we went to with some of us, and I didn't see her. So like, that's really cool if I meet her. And I told him the story about me walking with her. This girl gets up and walks away. Sitting next to me is Christina Ricci. The whole time she listened to our conversation.
Do you have like blinders on for her? Like, how?
She's over here. I didn't turn my head. I'm talking to him here.
That is twice now. You haven't been able to know she was there.
All the actors are walking by, so we're saying, holy crap, that's so-and-so. Holy crap, that's so-and-so. That's so-and-so. And we were like, this is weird. We're just sitting in the lobby. We're like, we're seeing everybody. You know, they're spotting dimes over here, you know?
Yeah, meanwhile, Christina Ricci's like right there, ready to go Lizzie Borden on you because you can't see her.
And I bet you she heard me talking about her.
Oh, my God.
Funny. So I thought that
Wait
was...
a minute, didn't she meet her husband on that set? On Pan Am?
Did she?
I believe so, because I remember...
It's probably probably the first AD that I was...
That's why he disappeared.
The only reason I know this is because I was just reading about her the other day, because I just watched Speed Racer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because she's in that movie.
Which that has actually aged well, I have to say, for a movie.
Speed Racer is a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was not appreciated in its time.
No, it was not. It was not. But that's like Scott Pilgrim. Same problem.
She
not appreciated in time.
A dolly grip. She married
a dolly grip?
Yeah, James here.
Son of a gun.
Just a dolly grip.
If I turned around and worked behind the scenes on that instead.
You were just in the wrong position at the wrong time.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
So then I'm in Atlantic City. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to meet Christina Ricci. She's here. I'm going to go
yeah, that's when she was here for the convention.
Yeah,
yes.
so guess what? I'm walking in the door to the convention. She's walking out the door.
I had heard about this because what is it?
5 o'clock she left.
Yeah, because the AC one, that's run by Ryan Weber, if I'm remembering correctly. I think I had heard from him that just the attendance wasn't coming out there. So
it was a tough year. That was when they had to move to the second floor.
Yeah.
So because it was the first floor they were filming a movie. So
that's probably it. It was probably like blocking off from the film.
Yeah.
And when they block off for a film, they just make sure there's like nobody in the vicinity.
But it was kind of cool though in the second floor. But yeah, it was unfortunate. It wasn't as many people going down. And now that pandemic, they have to keep pushing it off. Because I go down every year because there's a film festival. We podcast down there.
Yeah.
And then we do there's like celebrity karaoke, which is fun. It's fun. But then there's a film festival, so we put in student films every year, horror student films. So we get to go down there and have a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it is this year. I would like to go down because I'm seeing some names already mentioned. And I'm like, okay, wow, they're really braving it.
I'm probably going down and podcasting. So we might have a podcasting table.
I think
I got to make sure.
With it being a new year and everything, I think I may go down for interviews. I may try to do that again. It's been a while. It has been since.
Well, we might have a table you can put stuff at, and maybe we're working on it. But
well, I was always always satellite. I
might have to get pushed. It might have to get pushed another month or so, possibly.
Possibly, yeah. It depends on how things work out. Everyone's just like hurry up and waiting at this point. We're just trying to see exactly how things are going to pan out. We know they will. Yeah. But we're still just like we got the suitcase ready.
Tunnel, right?
Yeah, we're just ready to get on the plane. Just tell us when.
I'm hoping by summer it's nicer.
Nicer. Not nice in general, just nicer than it
Almost
is.
Normal?
2 stages above.
Almost normal would be nice. I want a summer where I can enjoy a summer.
Like give me a summer like most of my ex-girlfriends, almost normal. That's always good.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. If there's anyone that's watching right now.
Oh, none of my exes are watching. And if they are, they all hate me now.
No alimony. No, that's good.
That's one thing I don't have to worry about. That's a good thing, right?
Yes.
That's one good thing. So you went from Trip, and then I remember we were at those meetings, and you're like, oh, I have this idea. Sunday's best.
Which, actually, I got the idea from seeing a film at Hang On To Your Shorts.
Really?
Yeah, I forget the name of the film, but I remember watching it, and it had to deal with religious aspects. It's like I think someone something happened on a Sunday for them, and it's like, that they weren't listening to God or they didn't go and pray, and then it's like crisis of conscience, that sort of thing. And I'm like, yeah, but what if God really wasn't around to hear any of that? Yeah. And that just started the wheels turning. It's like, what if everything we believed about religion and about these, characters that are like the figureheads for these religions, what if they didn't even believe their own nonsense? You know,
What
not
if they were
saying that's
watching
nonsense,
football,
but
right?
yeah.
Dog,
I mean,
but two.
look, again, what are you really going to do on Sunday other than go to church? You're going to watch a game.
Yeah.
You know, and football just being the most prominent season for Sundays. I mean, yes, there's basketball, baseball, but everyone knows football Sundays.
Yeah, football Sundays. It's
We have enough of that tradition right here in Jersey. With we claim the Giants. Anyone that's a Jersey person and claims the Jets, I don't know where you live.
they were from Long Island. Like, I'm from Long Island. I'm a Giants fan,
Yes,
but you would think I'm from Long Island originally. You would think I'm a Jets fan.
right.
So a lot of people from Long Island that moved to Jersey are Jets fans, and those where the Jet fans kind of come.
that I can kind of understand because that's
Or
homebred.
sometimes you're a Met fan, you're a Jet fan too. O'Halloran's a Jet fan. He's a Met fan, Jet fan,
Poor bastard.
but he's a New Yorker.
Right. That's understandable. But we actually have Giants Stadium in this state, and I
Well, the
don't
Jets play there too.
look, who is it named after? Who is it named after?
Is it still? Didn't they call it something different for a
At
while?
MetLife Stadium, yes.
MetLife.
But I don't use MetLife, so I don't care.
they
But
did-
it was
Giant Stadium.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the Giants, I guess, paid the bulk of it, but the Jets came in. The Jets played at Shea Stadium. That's probably why a lot of Mets and Met fans are Jet fans.
That makes a lot of sense. But yeah, so we claim
They,
Giants.
They both stink now, but Giants had a good
Well,
trial there. They were so close. It was
this
It
year.
was expected, unexpected kind of thing, back and forth.
Why does every year feel like a rebuilding year?
They got almost made the playoffs at 6-10.
I know. God, Jesus. We are such, we are wild
But
cards
what
to
was
the
it, about,
very
like,
end.
3 or 4 games were done in the fourth quarter. They could have easily.
Oh, we are comeback kings. I will admit that. Even when Eli was throwing, we are comeback kings.
I mean, yeah, we weren't expected to win either Super Bowl.
No, absolutely not. It's definitely not against Patriots.
No.
But, boy, do we have it.
I had a shirt that said, it said with the Patriots, it says the Patriots, it said something like 24 wins and 1 giant loss.
Sounds about right. I like that. I would wear that shirt.
That was the shirt in the front, and 23 or 25, I forget how many games there are total, but it said like Patriots 23 wins in the back. It said, but 1 giant loss.
Yes, one giant loss. I do like the 1 giant loss. But so I mean that was pretty much the basis on the film. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, what if we just made them normal? What if we made Jesus and Muhammad and Shiva,
guys,
Shakti? What if it's pretty much like that one song? What if God was one of us?
Yeah.
So again, that was kind of like doing Trip. I was just calling in favors. I showed people the script that I had made up. They wanted
You
on
did
board.
that quickly too, didn't you?
Yeah, that was pretty much over the course of a weekend. And the unfortunate thing is, I never got to finish the whole thing filming wise.
Really?
There was still the ending of Sunday Best, however it may be, however short and kind of fitting it is. It's not the end. There's at least 2 more pages that I would have liked to have filmed, but we were losing daylight and they only gave us the house for the 1 day. So that whole thing was shot in a day.
Yeah.
Again, but
Wow.
one day if I ever get the funding, I'll do it all again. I'll do it right. But
There you go.
again, as of right now, it is at a 9.7 on IMDb, so I can't really complain
Yeah,
about
there
it.
you go. I saw that.
Yeah,
Noticed that.
Yeah,
was
well,
pretty
that
cool.
was back when there was only 5 votes, and of course, for those people
How
that
many
don't
votes
know,
are there now?
6.
There you go.
So it went up a point, a point of a point.
Oh, I wonder who voted.
I don't know, but they liked it. Obviously, it didn't dip any, but
There you go.
But that's the thing. For people that don't know, with IMDb, you need at least 5 ratings before you can actually have it displayed on your film.
I did not know that. And
Yeah.
I've had IMDb since day 1 that it opened.
Right, but you've probably had you've probably been on
1990.
things that have been massively viewed. Not everyone is massively viewed. My film came out 2015, and it just now finally got 6 votes.
Really?
So I mean, feather in my cap that it's actually displayed. And then the guy that actually told me about it, Matt, shout out to Matt. He told me about the film and this rating because apparently he was just searching on IMDb for New Jersey-based films, and of course, the entirety of the film came up. Yeah,
That's awesome that it comes up when
it
you
does
do that.
come up. Yeah,
That's cool.
And he saw that the rating was there, and he was like, "Oh wow, it's that high." So he went to go ahead and check it out, but obviously it's not anywhere on Amazon or anything like that. So I had to send him the Vimeo link. But he messaged me, telling me about it, wanting to check it out, and I'm like, "Okay, that's cool. Wow!"
That is
And I
cool.
didn't even know that. And I go to IMDb, and I'm like, I'm rated technically higher than Godfather right now. So it's like I'm really not
need-
trying to risk it.
You need a website and you need to put your films on that website. With links.
I mean,
all your
at
links.
this point, that might as well just be the idea of it, because I mean, I don't really have anything that's long enough to go ahead and put onto Amazon or Netflix or anything. I have seen short films on there. Don't think it's not possible.
No, yeah, you can. But from what I gather, I didn't put one on personally of mine, but people I know that have worked on films and stuff, and
Likewise.
it's a real pain in the neck to get it up.
Oh, I can imagine. And then, is it even worth it at that point? You know,
You're probably not making money anymore. I think it's like 1 cent for every like $150,
Right.
Whatever.
So I mean, the amount of like kickback that you get on having to go ahead and go through all that
You need
effort and put it up there.
Millions of hits.
Well, that's the thing. You would need a full-length feature that's got enough prominent cast to go up there and be like, okay, well, we'll make something back. But obviously nothing to live off of. And it's even worse if you have a short film, because in a short film, it's like, why should I even bother? I can just watch something that's like 3 times as long.
I guess, most of the short films you don't have to rent. You just go hit. If you have Amazon, you just hit it.
Right.
Watch it for free. But I guess it's just cool to say, hey, my film's on Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, there's the credit to it, I guess. But, I mean, and again, since Amazon and IMDb are like collaborating, I forget which one owns which. I guess Amazon owns them because Amazon owns everything. Amazon owns us.
Yeah.
We just don't know it yet.
Well, remember Without a Box got bought out by IMDb,
Right.
and then they just said goodbye to it.
Well, I mean, they merged it in, I'm guessing, somehow.
Well, it's gone now. Without a Box is gone.
Right.
Well, for film festival wise, but they merged some probably things about it,
But now Film Freeway is just like, psh.
Yeah, takes off.
But yeah, I mean, I'll eventually come up with a website, I guess, show that, a couple other things, maybe some of the interviews. Everyone likes my porn star interviews. That seems to always be like the biggest thing that I put out there that everyone watches. That gets up into like the tens of thousands. And I'm like,
have you gone there like every year for interviews?
Not every year, but back when it was like really striding and prominent and everything, I was up there because, I mean, when you were starting out as like, a stand-up comic, which I pretty much was before I even did any of the film stuff, I was doing stand-up just in order to get my feet wet and make sure that I had stage presence, that I wasn't choking up, and any of that, or any of the issues that people usually get when they first go into film and television and stuff. I was trying to get that out of the way.
That's good.
And stand up is usually a pretty good way to do that, because then you're just raw in front of people on stage.
Not easy to do.
They like you or they don't, and there may be a camera on you, there may not. It doesn't matter. You still got to perform. It's a great testing ground. I would always recommend it. In fact, I may even go back to it after this year. Who knows? But
I've done it, but I preferred hosting.
Yes, hosting is always fun too.
Yeah, I stick to the hosting, and I had my own comedy show going around for a while.
I saw.
Where I was the
Met
host.
some good people there.
Yeah,
Camille was always good.
Yeah, Camille. Yeah, she's had her. She headlined Caroline's.
Yes, I saw. Good for her.
So, yeah. Right.
Yay, Carol! Open up soon. We'll need more comics coming around.
I know, right? Well, I'm going to the Stress Factory later, so that's.
Who's performing tonight?
That's what's this? Brett
Ernst. Oh, from Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
That's why you're going.
Yes.
Because I know how much of a Cobra Kai fan you are.
I am a Cobra Kai fan, but I'm also a comedian fan, and I like Brett Ernst. And we recently saw a few. I've been going back to comedy clubs, and I wanted to go back to see more shows, and then all this happened. But I'm going to, when this stuff ends, bring back the comedy show that I used to host and go to different bars and do it.
Oh, okay. So you want to do the virtual thing?
It's like amateur. Well, when we get back to normal.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna build that up again, and it's an amateur show. It's to promote and help young comedians to amateurs to get their minutes. Get time out there. So
yeah, again, proving ground, testing yourself, making sure that.
But then every once in a while, you get like a headliner.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of way it was over at Stress Factory, because Stress Factory is where I started doing stand-up. And when you had, like, your Wednesdays, whatever, it was kind of like, open mic, obviously bringer shows sort of thing. You bring up 5 people, you get to,
5 minutes?
No, you get to pick your placement. Yep. Me, because I normally never brought anybody, I would always be at the tail end. There were times when everyone would have walked out. It's like, we still got 2 more comics. I'm like, okay, so I'm playing to, like, 3 people. So if I hear no laughter, it's like it's not even my fault. It's just
Yeah.
the fact that there's no one there.
Yeah.
So that was encouraging. But yeah, every so often we'd get comics that would come up. I think Rich Voss and Bonnie McFarlane were probably like the biggest people that would come regularly. They would come every so often just to test their stuff. And
Yeah.
in fact, I actually learned one of the biggest lessons ever from Bonnie McFarlane, and that's that the audience doesn't know shit, which I know sounds bad. I know it does. But here's the thing. When you're going into stand-up and you're going ahead and performing for a bunch of people that are automatically there for other comics and you're not playing to like your fans or your base or anything like that, yes, there is going to be a bit of an audience bias. They may not like your stuff as much as they might like someone else's stuff who they came to see.
Yeah.
So at that point, you really can't be worrying about what the audience has to say about you. You only have to worry about honing your own craft, doing what you want to do, saying what you want to say, and the audience will eventually come to you. That's how you build yourself up. You don't build yourself up playing to an audience. You build yourself up by playing yourself, and the audience will play to you. And I learned all that from her. And I've seen her film. I see her work all the time. I know people that work with her. Vinnie Brand's daughter, Allie, works with her extensively.
Yeah.
So, Bonnie, all praise in the world to you. Thank you so much. It is a great lesson I have learned, and I've always used it to this day. That's why I like Kevin Smith does. He goes ahead and he makes movies that he wants to make, not because the studio wants him to make it.
Not
because,
anymore.
Not anymore. No,
He does what he wants.
he wants to do. If
yeah.
he wants to do Bratzies, he does Bratzies, and more power to him. He makes what he wants to make, and that's the kind of work I want to be doing.
Oh, I know, right? That's the love.
That's the dream for a lot of people, and if you can, the sooner you can actually get that into your mind, the better.
Yeah. So after those are your two that you wrote and directed. Was there any more?
There was a third, much shorter than the other ones, and that was for Project Greenlight at the time.
No, I think I remember you doing that.
Yeah, that one was a little bit smaller because it was. I didn't even plan on doing it. I was just like, okay, let me get into Project Greenlight, but I can't think of anything this fast
That
because
was when they came back, they rebooted.
yeah,
Project Greenlight.
yeah, and it was one of those things where it was like I had 2 days to do it,
Oh boy.
so I had no idea what I was going to be doing. So that's pretty much just okay. What can I throw together that I can probably do in this space right now? And it just so happened that, I was going through a little bit of an unemployment crisis, not unlike what we're having now. And I was like, let me just tell this story. Let me just be like, okay, I'm still getting up every day. I'm still looking for work. I'm still doing what I can. I'm still staying positive. I haven't gone to any particular vice.
Yeah.
So let me just do a little short about that. And that's pretty much where Keep Calm came through. And I went ahead, I submitted that, got a lot of nice feedback about it. Yeah. Didn't get picked for the winner. I think the winner for that Project Greenlight was some short film about a guy who decided he wanted to eat unicorn. And they did like a big prestigious thing about how the meat was like cooked up and served, and it had the unicorn head on the mantle, that sort of thing. It was funny for what it was. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the film, but that was the winner that year. So, I mean, yeah.
Were they going to make a feature out of these things, or were they just going to be like, oh, no, you're just going to direct a film that we have?
Yeah, no, it was just one of those things where I think you had a theme, and to be honest, I forget what the theme was, so I forget exactly how my movie connected to the theme, but it was probably like the first foray into actually doing drama. Because obviously there's no jokes or anything in it. It's just pretty much, me wondering whether or not I should even bother keep looking for work or should I hit the bottle. And then, of course, little bits and pieces here about like, I had this poster in my room where it's like, keep calm and carry on. The whole British saying with the red and all that. And I just liked having it up in my room. And it was like, there's something there. There's something of encouragement there. Even if I don't always think about it every time I see it, there's something that always sticks in my head about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, let me just put that out there. Let me just be like, for as bad as things may feel and as bad as things may get, just keep going.
Keep going.
And
keep on swimming.
Yeah. Yeah. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Yeah. God help me if I ever made a film that's like that. It's like, if I'm not in a pool, like, what the hell is the point?
Oh boy. Yeah.
But yeah, that's like the only other one. That's shorter than the other three, obviously. But that's the only one outside of the two big ones that I've done. After that point, I was like, should I really keep doing filmmaking, or should I start focusing on acting, because I
And
mean
that brings us to acting, because you've been in some things.
I've been in a few things, yes.
So we had another one, Chris Organio, who
yes.
I can never say his. Every time I say his last name, I say it differently.
Yeah. I always think it's like, my name plus an O at the end.
Yes.
It's like oregano. It's like, no, that's not right.
No,
That's
no.
He would hit me if he heard that.
He's probably listening right now, like, it's Organio.
I know.
So, I am horrible with names, by the way. But pronouncing them. So, like, when people win awards, I'm like,
His first name is Chris. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
Chris.
Yes.
so, but like sometimes I'm like announcing awards and I see a name for the first time and I'm like,
Well, that's the teacher in you. I don't think there's any teacher that actually ever gets the names right.
That's why when I was subbing and I saw the Keenan Pell, the substitute,
The Key and Peele, yeah.
Keenan Pell substitute thing.
Hey, Ron!
I love it because I don't think I ever pronounced names right. So that was a riot because that's so true. I mean, it wasn't really a joke to me. I was like, that's me. That's me. So that was that.
The best comedy is the kind you can relate to.
So how did you get the role in his movie that played in our festival? And I think it did win awards. I think you were nominated for a comedy award. You might have been as an actor.
Possibly.
But the film was nominated for some awards. I'm not sure if it won or not. I can't remember. He'd probably yell at me, be like, or if he's listening to type in and say. But I think
he'll send you a picture holding the award later.
I think it did win comedy awards somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brightside might have won. Possibly, but definitely noms all over the place. And you were part of that cast. It was very funny.
Yes,
Where
Healing
did you
Heroes.
get that costume?
They had the costume for me. I don't know where they got the costume from,
Yes.
but they had it for me. I remember the initial drawing of the costume.
Yeah.
It was much more elaborate. And it pretty much had like, kind of like an orange hood, kind of like this. Boots, pads, the whole thing. Kind of made me look like a brawler.
Yeah.
And yeah, it had just had like that purple underbelly to it. And then the film happens, and then I'm just in a big old one piece. It's
Like a purple.
yeah. I learned to be comfortable with my body at a young age, and strutting around with that. It's like, thank God I had boxers that day. It was one of those things where I don't know if the boxers would even stay in place. I was worried they were gonna bunch up, and then all of a sudden I was gonna have this V just sticking out from the rest of the. Spandex or latex or whatever kind of material those things are made. I've never wanted to be a Power Ranger, and I think now I know why. It's
If you watch that, and I don't know where you can watch the film right now if it's out there, but you want more. It's like 10 minutes. You want more. You want a story. You want to see a sequel or a prequel.
Well, I'm sure he's mentioned it. It was part of a series. It was going to be, more long-term, long-scale sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just, budgetary constraints being what they are, we at least made the point of concept. Mm-hmm. So it was fun for what it was because everyone was really feeling like, okay, not only am I doing this character for the day, but now there's backstory. There's something you can reference to. There's something that you can kind of allude to when you're doing what you have to do with the script because you already know, hey, there is more along the lines. There is more to tell. Whether or not we'll ever be able to tell that one day, I don't know. Certainly, I don't look the way I did then. Yeah. My hair is, less shimmery, let's say. That can always be done with coloring, sure, but
You're more distinguished now.
Yes. I'm an elder statesman of a superhero as opposed to what I was.
That would be cool to do it now. No, if they grade you up, all grade up, and you're like him 20 years later, that would be awesome.
That really makes that therapy session
start
of a bad turn.
He's going back. And have the secretary because the lady in the beginning have her become the doctor.
Well, there was so much underbelly for that. The machinations of the doctor was going to be really just blown up.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I really was surrounded by a good cast. I mean, the other superhero girl was
Ganja girl, played by Wakandi. Yes,
she was hysterical.
Yeah, she was, and
dry hysterical. It's just the way she hit it. You're laughing
right
at the way she delivered.
Well, that's what I always loved about people when they have to play impaired, whether it's when they have to play high or whether they have to play drunk or anything. The idea is not necessarily to play yourself acting like you're high or drunk. It's to be a drunk person or a high person trying to talk normally. You got to think in reverse with that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
because otherwise it is going to feel, played up. But, if you think about it in reverse, I love it when people actually get drunk before a set and then try to be sober. If they can actually do it and they don't have to repeat their lines much, it comes off so well.
There was a film that was made the day after our film festival. A few people got together in the hotel room after the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So it was over. It was like a Monday, and they filmed the movie as they drank.
Yes.
So it was the drunk movie. And you could tell, like, they had lines, but they started messing up as they were drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking throughout. And by the end, it was a mess. They had no idea what was going on, and it was just laughter and it was a mess.
Yes, but that's also part of the fun of watching something like that, because then you're going along for this roller coaster, and then you see it all ramp up before it finally just drops right off.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to do something like that. It's just a matter of, like, making sure everyone signs on the paperwork, being like, okay, you can't sue me for whatever happens because you'll be under the influence. Not my problem. You're the one that decided to take shots off the luge. Not my problem.
No problem.
The best thing is usually when it becomes to, like, hard alcohol, because beer has this distinct look, but hard alcohol, it's either completely clear where water comes into play so well, and then if you really want to thicken it up, just add some gelatin, or you get, like, the whiskey that's actually like iced tea. I love that look. It's just it's so fake, but it still works so well.
It does, yeah.
And then, I'd like.
Well,
real
you
whiskey.
guys were drinking in Sunday's Best, so what was that?
So there was beer on set, but I don't think it was actually in any of the cans. I think the only one that may have had it, I know it was, I know there's that one scene, I think during the little airplane music montage, where I'm doing, like, the bucket, the helmet, where it's like everyone's doing, like,
Yeah.
I think that was beer.
Yeah.
That was either beer or it was sparkling cider. So this way we had some bubbles, because otherwise it wouldn't look right.
It wouldn't look right, yeah.
But, I got, like, the cheapest beer possible. I couldn't even tell you the name of the beer. And I got that just so I had some
Natty
cans.
Light.
I got that just so I had some cans so that the guy who was playing Zeus, he had these covers on the cans that looked like boobs. So they go on the top of the can, so this way you'd be, like, suckling on the teat while you were drinking.
Yeah.
I got them specifically for that reason.
Yeah.
No other reason. If the alcohol got consumed, fine. I didn't care. I just wanted the aesthetic of Zeus suckling on a nipple beer. That's all that mattered to me.
So you guys got to watch that movie.
Thank you for the plug.
Yes. So you did that that one other film you acted in, and then what? What other acting?
Okay, outside of, like, the short films and everything, not last year, but 2019, that was, like, the best acting year of my life.
You were in a movie that I was an AD on.
What? You were AD on King of Staten Island?
No, not that one yet, but Who's Jenna?
Oh, Who's
You're
Jenna?
in the
Yes.
movie.
Yes. Well,
You're in it.
I'm in it as a bartender, yes.
You're in it, yeah.
I can't tell you really what the scene is, because if I tell you that, then I'm giving away one of the biggest gags of the movie.
But it's a good scene.
It is a good scene. Yes, it was a fun time to be there, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I wish I could have done more, but it was just like, sitting behind the... I didn't even get to really bartend. I was just like there. I was like, at least, let me do a little, like, Tom Cruise cocktail sort of thing. Let me, like, throw something in the air and, like, show off. Instead, I'm just there in a black wife beater being waved to by a certain person that I cannot say. But
by now, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Just watch Who's Jenna.
Yeah, then you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. And of course, Tom and all of them, actually putting the film together, and seeing Gary every so often. I love seeing Gary on stuff. Yeah. I seen him in The Deuce. I saw him on The Week Of with M. Sandler. I love that he's been actually popping up and getting work. He's a good guy. But
and then you said Staten Island.
Yeah. So last 2 years ago, can't say anything about last year because nothing happened last year.
Yeah, I guess it's so funny that it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, now we have to say that. But yeah, back in 2019 when the filming was actually happening before the stuff came out past year.
Did they film in Staten Island?
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. A couple of different places, but I ended up getting, that was probably like the biggest gig I had ever gotten, because outside of any background work I was doing, which I had done background on Jack Ryan, I had done background on Mr. Robot, stuff like that. I actually got to be a body double And technically, they had to take pictures of me as in costume, so it still counted.
In the movie?
Yeah. Well, you won't see me in the movie, but you will see the clothing that I wore because it got put on Action Bronson. So I was his body double because obviously Action Bronson, he's a busy man. He can't be on set. No. He can't be there all the time. No. He came in for the one day, they shot him, done. So they had to do all the preliminary stuff. Yeah, so any blood, any costuming that had to be done for him. And, you know, if you ever seen the movie, he kind of gets like a wound. We don't know if it's a gun or a knife, but it's a wound right there on the stomach. Yeah. And, yeah, so they brought me in, and I never realized I was like that body type. And now I'm seeing Action Bronson now. He's been doing the exercise, and I'm like, shit, I'm not going to get any work unless I get the Action Bronson size now because now I got to match up with him.
You got to call him up and be like, let's work out together.
Yeah. Like, show me the videos. Like, you know,
how are you doing it?
Give me a free account, something. I don't know. Hook me up with your personal trainer. Give me a discount.
Let's do it because then I'll buy
then you have work forever. Yes. Yeah. But it was so fun actually doing that. The only thing I hated was the shaving because they had originally told me that they were bringing me in for a makeup test. And I thought, okay. So they thought, oh, we'll need you to shave everything because he has tattoos on and everything. So he's got tattoos all over his body.
So they put tattoos on you?
Don't get ahead of me yet. So I do the shaving of everything, which I've never done before, but I had to do it for this role because I wanted to keep it.
It must have been like really naked.
I shaved arms, legs, the body. I shaved everything because I've seen what Action Bronson looks like. He is tatted all up all over, so I wasn't sure exactly where they were going to work with. I get there, I'm all clean shaven, more so than I have ever been in my life. Yeah. And they're like, okay, so we're going to be doing the wound on you first. Oh. And I'm like, okay, so that's just the little red makeup and everything here first, right? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so then how long is it going to be for the tattoos then? They're like, tattoos? Oh, well, we're not doing the tattoos on you. He already has the tattoos on him. We don't need to do that. So, wait, I'm not getting the tattoos put on me? I'm like, no. We're just doing the wound. We're just making sure the wound and everything works with the clothing. Then why did they tell me to shave everything? Oh, yeah, no, I don't know. We don't know about that. Well, it's not necessary.
Some guy's just like, I've just made this guy shave his body.
Yeah, basically. I got shaved all over for nothing. No reason. I was looking like a naked mole rat. And I got paid. I'm sure I got paid. But oh, the few weeks that happened afterwards.
It's getting itchy.
Oh, my God. When it's first growing in, that second week after it's been growing in, you can't wear anything.
I'm a hairy guy, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Imagine.
I mean, this is only 2 years old. I mean, I don't know if it's been longer than this or not, but...
It's baby hair. It's new hair.
It feels so weird. It feels like everything's attacking me. I started sleeping. I thought I had bed bugs. I wasn't sure what was up. I'm like waking up and I'm checking myself.
Where am I itching?
Oh, where's the hazard pay for that?
I get it. I understand. I'm very hairy. I get that.
Yeah, but again, I've learned to be very comfortable with my body between being in spandex leotards or whatever, shaving my entire body, dancing naked on television.
What?
And Impractical Jokers.
Impractical Jokers. That brings us to... He was in Impractical Jokers, everybody.
Yes.
I saw the episode a couple times, actually.
Oh, God.
I did.
The fact that you've actually watched it more than once, I think is a little concerning.
I know. But there was a time period I just kept watching Impractical Jokers, and Nick played the same ones over. And I was like, oh, it's this again. But it's still funny. I got to watch, put on.
I'll be completely honest. I had never watched Impractical Jokers at all.
Really?
Until after I worked on it. No. And it was one of those things where it's like I knew about the show enough. I knew that people liked it. But it was never one of those things.
I've known Q since I was 20 years old. So.
Oh, you know Q that well?
Well, we were both working on the View Askew. He was in the main office, and I was working the Shango.
Oh, okay.
We were both like interns or whatever he was. He was working in the office. He worked in the office. Yeah. View Askew then. So.
All right. Well. So then you know the comedy better than I do. I just know it was like...
He used to make fun of me and call me Guy Smiley all the time.
Guy Smiley. I could see that. I could see Smiley, yeah. I mean, how can you not? Look at him. It's like, come on.
It was worse then, Christian, because I actually was a lot skinnier and I smiled a lot more.
Oh, that's a funny joke, I must say.
So I hadn't seen him in a while, and I saw him at one of the New Jersey Horror Cons.
Yes.
And I hadn't seen him, so I go up to him. I was like, "Hey Q, what's going on?" He goes, "Guy Smiley." And I go, "You remember that?" He goes, Dude, you look the freaking same 20 years later. It doesn't matter. You look exactly the same.
That's flattering.
And I was like, thank you. I can't believe he was like, yeah, he knew exactly. He was funny. It was like my look, but he knew right away. He's like, Guy Smiley. Like that was like almost 20 years ago.
No, that
It
works.
was 20 years ago.
I mean, I hope so. In like 20 years, I still look as good as I do now because I think I look decent. But
I just look older, I guess. But
you're timeless. You know, you put those little cucumbers on your eyes and you're
lose some
perfect.
weight. I do have a baby face, I guess, and well, grayer hair. If I dyed my hair, I'd probably look like I did.
Yeah, no. That's why I like to keep the facial hair. If I trim all this off,
yeah,
I look like I'm still in my 20s, and I hate how I look in my 20s. And
Yeah?
I look too chubby in my 20s, and I'm still chubby now, but I don't want to look it. Facial hair is a beautiful thing.
Well, you get lazy. I get lazy, and then I shave. Then I get lazy, and then I get shaved. So it happens.
Okay, Guy. You realize that that's sticking with you for a while now. But
Guy Smiley?
Yeah, Guy Smiley.
Oh my gosh! Now I just told the world.
Check your Facebook messages.
I know.
Oh, please, you got Guy Smiley. I'm still rocking Big O, and apparently because of that one jackass that was at the political thing, his nickname
was Big O.
His last name's Barrett, but
but no one.
Big O.
He's going to jail for 10 years. You're still here, so you call yourself Big
Right.
O.
I just don't want his tax issues. That's all I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't want them
That's a
coming
nickname.
after me.
Well, don't make your seg name Big O then.
Fine. No. But yeah, as far as Impractical Jokers is concerned, I did dance naked, the electric slide for one of the punishments.
Yes, you did.
For Murr in a sauna with a bunch of other like-sized gentlemen, let's say. Some bigger, some smaller, some as big as a whale, whatever. But
it was a very funny scene.
Yes.
His face reactions was a riot.
It was so weird because, and this is just from my own perspective, the way we were all situated. All right, so I was like on Murr's right-hand side, right next to him, dancing. I'm not in front of him, not to the other side, not behind him. Now, if anybody knows the electric slide, he went ahead and did it, and I believe I turned over, and then all of a sudden, as I'm like doing the dips, I've like got Murr's face, facing forward, and I've got his ass right in my face. And I'm like, I don't know how comfortable I feel about this.
I saw your ass.
I felt more well, no, he had the green spandex on. He had like the Speedo.
Yeah.
I was more uncomfortable with his green Speedo in my face than I was once we turned back around and my naked ass was in his face. I felt more comfortable that way. And I'll be completely honest, and I haven't said this, I was holding it in so badly.
Laughing?
No, gas-wise.
That would have been awesome.
Because they fed us. And maybe they shouldn't have before we did that.
Oh, that was awesome. That'd be awesome.
Here's the thing. If you're going to serve people food that are going to end up naked and close to each other,
do it after the dance.
Don't give them vegetables, all right? Don't give them things that are going to necessarily like loosen things up. Pack them full of cake and meat. Yes. You know, make sure it's going to be, give us cheese, but don't give us like a sub sandwich that's got the tomato and the vinegar and the lettuce. Oh, God, fucking the lettuce.
Well, you dance after that, of course you're gonna.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm so worried about not farting in his face, even though I'm sure they would have loved it. But then I feel like I would be the jackass that would get yelled at the end of the day, and I didn't want that to happen. So I'm like, obviously you can't zoom in because everything's blurred, but I was clenching my butt the entire dance just to make sure something didn't happen next to the guy who actually runs the show and is one of the stars.
Yeah.
And that's an uncomfortable position to be in, and yet I still tell people about it. It's like I have no shame in it whatsoever. I feel fine about, I was naked on television. Big whoop.
Oh, it's a great show. It was funny. It was very funny. If you guys haven't watched Practical Jokers, do that and definitely see that episode. And, we're kind of at the end of the show already because it goes so fast on this show. It's amazing.
It really does.
So do you have anything you want to promote? Where they could see some films, where they could see any of your footage of anything or whatever? Is it whatever websites you have or your IMDb so they can watch the film and then give you more points? Can they do that for Trip as well?
I mean, Trip is on there too. Yes, I'm sure you probably could. So you could check the you can check both Trip and Sunday Best and even Keep Calm and a couple of other things
It's on
at
there, too.
Vimeo.
So, it's on Vimeo. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, you can find a lot of stuff on Vimeo. I probably will be reissuing a few things this year just to like try to cleanse the palate, try to get some of the fresh eyes on it. But social media wise, usually is the best way to find anything that I'm doing or find out if I'm doing anything. And you can find Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, even though I barely do anything on TikTok, but I need to do it because that's what young people watch.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
You can find.
I am on one TikTok of one the students filmed it around like one day, and I tripped and fell. So I was like, this is going viral.
Yes, classic.
I got like 12 views.
Yeah, TikTok.
Ming got a lot of views. He did TikTok with my students right outside.
Well, that's the thing. He did it with the students. He's got the young people already sharing it.
Yeah.
We don't share anything.
No.
We're too old. We don't care any much about that.
I'm just learning the hashtags, or as Sensei says, hash browns.
You with the Cobra Kai shit, I swear.
I love Cobra Kai.
Yeah. So social media wise, you can find everything at Real or Deal, which is REEL. And of course, always Real or Deal Entertainment. You can find the Facebook page there. That's pretty much where I go ahead and will announce many things I'm doing, if anything. And of course, always sharing news stories in the world of film and television, just because I like my own fresh take on it. And as far as anything upcoming, I know there's the one film I'm still working on from my boy Russell. There's been a couple of things put out there, but it's a long story, a long-going story called Power Child. And it's got a very interesting role for me. This is probably the first time I've ever had a role where face paint is involved.
No.
And it's got me looking kind of
Jokerish?
Well, no, not Joker. Sting. If you know Sting,
I
of
know
wrestling.
Sting.
Yeah, it got me looking like
It's
that.
like a clean Joker.
Yeah. Well, he did Joker makeup at one point. Black Knight, the Dark Knight. I think he did the
he did that.
Heath Ledger Joker makeup. But yeah, so that's an ongoing project, and hopefully we'll actually be able to finish it this year. Now that things are starting to wind down, and whenever that comes out, I'm surely going to go ahead and share all that. But yeah, this is going to be a reforming year. This is going to be a year where I think a lot more people are going to go ahead and put a lot more out there, because now the fear is in people's minds where, if you don't do it now, there may not be next year.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
I'm ready to start filming. Well, I got to write some stuff. I'm in the middle of writing some stuff, and I'm going to be filming too.
Right.
I got some stuff.
And that's what we all should be doing this year, because Lord knows we didn't get a chance last year.
I know, right?
So, take the time, take the opportunity, buy the balls when it comes.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining me today, and it was my 50th show, man.
Yes.
50th show, so congrats, and I'm happy to have you on for that.
It's the golden anniversary. It's the golden birthday. I would have gotten you something golden, but I haven't gotten my 600 yet, so I got nothing to share.
I got mine.
Oh, well, isn't that just beautiful?
I got mine like before they even came out. It was weird. It was like, it went in already. I'm like, yeah, that's what, right to the bank account. But now they have my bank account. That's the problem.
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe getting you like the golden lasso of truth from Wonder Woman, but best I could do would probably be like some rope from Home Depot that's just yellow. It's like best I can do. The thought counts. The thought counts.
Absolutely. Well, thanks you guys for listening, tuning in, and I will see you soon. We got a couple more shows coming up in the next couple of weeks. We got some cool guests coming on, so I'm excited about that. And just keep following us. And this was live today on not just Facebook, which it usually always is, but also live on YouTube as well. So
yeah, it's official.
We got to get that YouTube up there, because I was lackadaisical for a while, and I got all the shows on there now. So all my shows, all 50, are up on YouTube. So check it out and like the page and subscribe.
Now you just got put on Twitch.
You just got put on Twitch?
You got put on Twitch, man.
I don't know how to do that, but we're going to figure that out. And also, it's a little sad news. Marion Ramsey from Police Academy, she passed away the other day. And I recently met her at the HorrorCon, and a great conversation. So rest in peace, Marion Ramsey.
Wait, Marion Ramsey. That was Hooks.
Hooks.
Oh.
Yeah, she just passed away yesterday. So
rest
in peace. Thanks for listening.
Don't move!